I ended up going into labor literally 1 week before we wrapped. And I'm literally in labor trying to learn lines. Like, I'll be back Monday. I'll be back Monday. And he's like,
No,
everybody's like, girl, you crazy. Like, seriously.
Hi, I'm Kelli.
And I'm Danni. Welcome back to the ProCreatives Podcast for moms who make things. The podcast for moms and future moms who are navigating their creative careers as they raise their little inspirations.
And I am super excited. Well, we are super excited for our guest today, Coco Brown. She is all of the things. But before we get started, let's let the people know all about Miss Coco.
All right, let's get into it. The Newport News, Virginia native-born Farah Brown was named a comedian machine gun by America's Got Talent judge Sharon Osbourne. She has received numerous awards, including the DC Comedian of the Year, and was handpicked by the family of Moms Mabley to receive the 2018 Moms Mabley Legacy Award. She has been all over the world touring regularly and has also been featured on the Showtime network Shaquille O'Neal's comedy All Stars and at the 2018 Montreal Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. She shared the stage with comedic icon D.L. Hughley for Funnier Than a Mother comedy night. Her comedy special, Famous Enough, is currently streaming across multiple viewing platforms, including Amazon and iTunes, and was recently added to the in-flight entertainment selection on Delta Airlines. In 2021, Coco was honored by Women in Film Dallas with the prestigious Rising Star Topaz Award. Brown continues to shine on the big and small screen in the new 50 Cent Stars Cable Network series, BMF, Black Mafia Family, P-Valley, Single Drunk Female, the Apple TV Plus comedy, The Big Door Prize, written by Schitt's Creek EP David West Reed, and the holiday rom-com Christmas Party Crashers. Most recently, Coco can be seen in the romantic drama The Perfect Love Storm. Welcome, Coco.
All right, so we just talked about it, but we always want to lead with a mom, right? It's something that we are often putting on the back burner. Oh, no one wants to really hear about us being moms and our kids and all of that. But we want to hear more about your journey to motherhood, especially the fact that you're an actress, comedian,
Yes.
Early childhood educator. So you had a multifaceted background. So what was your journey to motherhood like, especially in light of you having this creative journey as well?
Well, I became a mother later in life. I had my first child right before I turned 40. So I spent a good portion of my life before I became a mother pursuing my career, doing what I had to do, and I ended up getting married at 38 and got pregnant the very next year. And it's funny because I know my son was meant to be here because I had gone in wanting to get pregnant and they told me there was an issue with one of my ovaries and they wanted to do a procedure so that I could get pregnant. And so when I went in to have the procedure, they said, "Oh, you're pregnant already."
Oh, look at God.
Not God setting you up.
I'm literally getting prepped for the procedure and they're like, "Honey,
Wow.
you're already pregnant." And I'm like,
Wow.
"Oh." So that's how my little boy got here. Yeah, so my son was 7 months old when I decided to leave my marriage. That is a whole nother conversation. If I can give any women advice out here, do a background check. Because I was not married. I was married to someone I did not know. Okay. I was going by what they told me and come to find out that was not who they were. But, in spite of all of that, I became a single mother when he was 7 months old, and I've been one ever since. He's about to turn 12 in May. I am a firm believer in never say never after this experience because I was the one I don't know from how far back I can remember. I was the one that always said, I will never be a single mother. I will never have a deadbeat baby daddy. I will never be raising my child on my own with no help. And everything I said I never would do.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh.
So I'm a firm believer that I have now, I'm very adamant, I never say never. Never say never. I didn't come from this. My parents were married almost 55 years. My brother's been married 15 years. My best friend and her husband have been together. They just celebrated 28 years. And so I didn't come from a brokenness. So this was something I had to navigate on my own. I had to literally reach out to people who had been in this situation because I didn't grow up seeing this.
Right.
So to become a single mother and then to add on, add insult to injury, to have a man who decided, okay, well, if you're leaving, then I don't have a son either, and, it's just been me and him. He's seen his father one time in his 11 years, and I wish I could say that I did something to make him run away, but I didn't.
Right.
And I know women may have said that, but I can honestly say on a stack of Bibles with Jesus in front of me, I didn't do anything to drive this man away. I gave him every opportunity to be a father where he didn't even have to deal with me. My son had his own phone, his own email. My son, he didn't have to even talk to me. When it came to support financially, I gave him the account number to his trust fund. I can't touch that money. If I do, I am penalized by the federal government. The only person that can touch that money is my son when he turns 18. That wasn't good enough. He just decided he didn't want to be a father, and I wish I could tell you why. That's between him and God, because I did everything. I exhausted every possibility to leave that door open for him to be a father, and he chose not to walk through it. For me, I've always wanted to be a mother. Now, if you ask anybody that's known me since I could talk, I've always wanted to be a mother. I was the one still walking around with a baby doll at 9 years old, I wanted to be a mama. I wanted to be a mama. So my mother, she when I divorced, you have that heart to heart with your mama. She said, well, honey, you really can't be too upset because you got what you wanted. She said, you always wanted to be a mama. She goes, I always know that was something you always said. I can't wait to be a mama. She says, now I was hoping you wouldn't be, a single mother or have a baby too soon and not have a husband. She said, but you did it right. She said, but you're now what you wanted to be. And I embraced that, even though I might not have got the white picket fence with the dog and the Volvo station wagon situation, I became the one thing I wanted to be was a mother, and I love being a mother. It's demanding as it can be. Yes, I wouldn't trade it for anything. If anything, it made me grow up. It made me focus.
I love that.
Talk more about that, especially in light of your creative work. Like, focus,
right when I got married was when I finally got something big in my career. That's when I landed the job with Tyler Perry on the sitcom For Better or Worse. I had literally gotten married the year before, and then I landed that show. And then the very next year I had my son. Actually, the entire second season of For Better or Worse, I'm 8 months pregnant.
That's amazing. Ooh, so I love to hear about the working mamas.
Yes. I shot that entire season with that child sitting on my cervix, like I'm ready to come out, but I'm gonna try to hold up.
Listen, I'm about to go look back and try to see if I can spot it and stuff.
People, but after people go, oh my God, they just thought I was big, that I had been eating well. They didn't realize I had a whole 8-pound, 7-ounce baby in my belly. But
and shout out to him for keeping that opportunity, because there have been people who have not been able to. I was
nervous. Let me tell you something, Hunty. When I tell you, I was making myself sick because I knew that we had shot the first season, and I know that we were coming back for a second season. I found out I was pregnant, and I was praying that, well, either he's going to bring me in early where I'm not showing, or maybe they'll bring us back to shoot another season after I've had him. Well, of course, they called us back in right when I hit 7 months.
Wow.
And I was like, oh God. And I was so scared to tell him. I literally called people in my cast, like, what do I do? He's going to cut me off the show. He's going to fire me. And finally, I got, the gumption, and one of, the people said, just call him, Coca, just call him. And I called him and I said, look, I just wanted to tell you, I said, I'm pregnant. I'm 7 months. I said, it will not affect my ability to do my job. I'm still touring. I'm still telling jokes. But I wanted you to know, so when I walked in with this belly, you didn't go, and he said, I appreciate you telling me. He goes, I got you. Let's get to work. Not only did he make sure that, I was able to come into work late so I could make it to my, third trimester appointments, he even hired a medic that was specifically for me on set.
Wow.
Kudos.
Wow.
So
we love
much
that.
love
We
to
love
him,
that.
much love to TP for that.
Yes.
And then, I ended up going into labor literally 1 week before we wrapped. And I'm literally in labor trying to learn lines. Like, I'll be back Monday. And he's like, everybody's like, girl, you crazy. Like, seriously. But it's so funny how, when I had my son, when I got to my room, my room after I had my son, the flowers that were sent to me. Like, there were so many that I was able to give a bouquet to every floor of the hospital.
Wow.
And take some back to my place. But, that just showed, that, he understood that I'm a mama, but I'm working. I need to work, whatever. And if you watch season 2, you'll be like, half of you was running down streets. Yes. You was jumping out of limos. Yes. You had a whole scene where you was running and shooting somebody. Yes.
That's
all
crazy.
8 months pregnant. All 8 months pregnant.
And there's nothing that we can't do. I think about women, other women who were pregnant. Her name is escaping me right now, but she played Wonder Woman. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Gal Gadot.
Yeah, Linda.
Well, not Linda Carter, but the modern
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
The recent one.
She was pregnant, and doing all these stunts and stuff. And so it's
but
really,
she was probably small pregnant, right?
She was small pregnant, but like in the beginning stages, I believe.
No, like my cervix was opening.
But you were full blown. She said that baby was on its way.
Like he had dropped, and they were like, "Are you sure you want to go back?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got this. But
because it's your passion, right? And it's great that
I was so excited to work with Tyler Perry. That was my first big gig. That was my first series regular gig. It was Tyler Perry. I just was super pumped because when I look back at that time and I'm thinking, what was I running on? Because we didn't have short days.
Right, I'm sure.
Because we were shooting
put you out
2-3 episodes a day.
Right. Wow.
And I just look back on it, but it showed me the resilience of me as a woman, as a mother. Literally, I had my son that Friday evening. That Monday morning, I was back on set with a newborn, even though they had written me out of the scripts because they were like, Coco's had a baby. But I literally showed up to set with a newborn. They was like, we need you to go home.
But I love that. That is supporting you on so many levels. And, I think we hear a lot more of the stories of the lack of support. And not enough of those, and to Kelly's point, a lot of these, new generation, which I like, even when Rihanna did the Super Bowl, I was like, full belly, you know what I'm saying? Seeing things like that, I think we need to see. And then Cardi B was out there, everybody, more and more so, these artists are embracing that part. I think we don't want to hide it because I feel like there was so much shame attached to motherhood. And I'm just so glad that things are changing, because there's no shame in it, and but you have to acknowledge.
That's the fear. That's why they're so adamant trying to take us back to Handmaid's Tale.
Listen, madness,
because they are seeing the resilience and the power of a woman, of mothers, and it freaks them out. Because I've always said, honey, if you want this country to act right, put a woman in charge.
Well, listen. How we can gather classrooms,
Boys
together.
Too busy having sword fights, honey, and ego fights. A woman gonna get her done.
Yeah, get it done. Okay, we're gonna say, okay, enough of this. Let's go. This is the plan. This is how we can make it happen. This is your strong suit.
Shut up.
We got the strategy, and I love something that you both touched on. Right, we don't feel obligated to do those things. It's a passion. And I think sometimes we're forced to choose between the thing that we know that we're called to do in motherhood. I'm called to both, right? I'm called to create, but I'm also called to be this child's mother. And in order to do that well, we need the support of our industries that we're working in. We need the support of our village, but it's the passion that drives us. It's not the check. That's well, sometimes Rihanna
sometimes
got paid a lot. Rihanna got paid a lot to do
Now,
the
don't get
Super
me
Bowl.
wrong.
Okay,
That bag be calling. That bag be calling. That bag be calling.
It's the bag too, but
It's for the baby.
also the passion. It's the baby bag. We're just gonna say it's the baby bag, right? But it's also the passion. It's the passion. It's the like, I want to be a part of this thing. I want to create. I want to use my gifts and my talents in this world. We don't have to choose, and I think that's the story.
And the thing is, we don't call ourselves super women.
No,
other people do. We're just doing what we are.
Yes.
We're just being, we're breathing, we're existing, we're doing what we do. And they're the ones that want to say, oh, you mad independent. Oh, you mad, you don't need a man. Oh, superwoman. Oh, you got to be. Honey, that's your title. I ain't never gave myself that title.
Exactly. The job has to get done, because what we're going to do is sit here and cry and wait for somebody else to do it? And then you got another title for that, because then you're going to say that, why don't you get up and fix yourself, help yourself? So you know what? Go ahead and throw the super on there. I'm going to get it done. I need to get done.
It's like you call me that, but thank you. I used to hate that term because it made it seem so derogatory, like I was doing too much.
Right.
And I'm like, doing too, this is what I do. I'm breathing. Me, it's like, it's hard for me to sit still, because my mind is always like, what can be accomplished next? Now, I have trained myself as I've gotten older to stop and smell the roses and to enjoy the moments. That was something I did have to train myself to do, because I was constantly chasing the bag. And that bag could have been my son. That bag could have been $1. That bag could have been a creative move or just a hobby, whatever. I was chasing. And I had to learn to stop, because I realized I was missing so many moments because I had tunnel vision. And so now I've learned, right. So I've learned now, I will sit down and give myself a pass to be absolutely lazy and take in everything around me, even if it's just me looking at cars going down the street.
But you know what? I call it rest, because I had to talk to, listen, you're talking to Kelli Ann right now, okay? Because Kelli was very much like, okay, I'm going to get, what's the next thing to get done?
Get done, okay? I got to let the ideas out my mind.
But I'm big on, so like,
balance.
I'm big on like rest is important, because I know I've noticed for myself anyway, that if I burn out, like, and I like to be busy. I do. I really love it. It's a secret shame. But I also enjoy my rest, and I'm big on that. And I try to advocate for that. And I say, listen, even if you lay in doing nothing, it's not nothing. It's rest that your body needs.
Exactly.
Because you just can't keep going. You have to replenish. You have to refuel. So enjoy those days of just laying around, and don't feel bad. And I used to feel bad as well. I'm like, oh, but I didn't even put the laundry up. Nah, it's okay. It's going to be there the next day, and it's clean. That's enough.
It's all right. Like, I used to be like traveling and working like crazy, and then I'd be in my hotel rooms on the laptop working and doing this and doing that. Now, my time on the road when I'm in the hotel's room is relegated to straight rest. If I want to lay in that bed and watch 48 episodes of Law & Order SVU, that's what I'm going to do.
There you go. Yes.
So it's time for me to go sling them jokes. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes. You got to refuel. Okay. And you got to fill yourself what works for you. I love that. I love to hear that. And I think we all as mothers have issues with that, because we're always looking at the checklist, right? And the checklist always, it's just ever happening, right? It's always a cycle.
It's never going to stop. There's never going to be a finish line.
Exactly. So that's
and my mother made me realize that before she passed, last year. But my mother was still in mama mode at 77 years old, and her kids are full-fledged grown.
Yes.
And that made me realize there's no finish line to motherhood.
No.
Ooh.
It's
it doesn't stop at 18, right? It doesn't stop at 18.
It stops at death. That's the only time. And then does it really stop at death? Because I swear I feel my mama's presence every day.
There you go. See, there you go. So
I love that.
Because her impact is still there.
Yeah.
Exactly. I talk to her every day like, all right, Shirley, I hear you shoot.
I love that.
You talked about so many things, but one thing that I want to go back to is when you said having your son caused you to kind of to focus in. So what did that look like in your life? Like the before and after? Obviously, you had him. You're working with Tyler Perry, but you said it caused you to kind of focus.
My life prior to being a mom was whatever the day may bring, that's what I'll deal with. It was also, I can shake and move even if I'm not doing anything to progress my life. when I say focus, there was no, I guess in a sense, I was chasing the dream, but I didn't really know what it looked like. So therefore, just was like an octopus. I had hands and everything. I was just all over the place. Having my son, where I truly had to get a schedule, especially becoming a single mother, and I had to hire help. I had to hire a nanny. I had to hire this. I had to do this, I had to have an assistant, and even when I didn't, there are times there are times I've gone gaps where there's no nanny, no assistant, and I've just used family and friends and just tried to keep my schedule to a point, but it made me realize, it made me prioritize. If that's what I'm looking for, if that's what I'm looking for, it made me prioritize and not just be like this free bird all over the place and landing wherever. I had to know where I was landing.
That is so good.
That's it. I didn't know where I was landing.
And I think people don't understand that part, because there's a lot of this hustle culture, right? You're going.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard somebody say that same thing that you said. You have to know where you're going, because otherwise you're just being pulled apart to wherever, like you say, like you're just going where the wind is taking you. And and I think when you have children, as you just like, listen, can't do that no more.
My son made me realize that I had started all these projects and never finished nothing. And I can't do that with my child.
Yeah.
That woke me up and made me realize, okay, stop saying yes to everything. Stop putting your hand in everything, because you can't do everything. And now with this little boy involved who needs your time 24/7, needs you to be mama and president on your A game. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't help you with that. I learned the word no being a mom.
Ooh.
And that was just not personal. That was professional too. No.
Oh, yeah.
No, because it doesn't fit into where I'm going and where I need to land. And sometimes you have to be open, you have to be fluid and whatever, but there are things I can control, and therefore I do.
Yes. Oh, awesome. Oh, I love that.
There are things I can control, and therefore I do.
You have to. I love that.
Yeah. That is wonderful. Woo! I mean, you're dropping gems. You're talking about my life. You're talking about my life. Gosh.
Look, they don't call me auntie for nothing.
Listen.
This is facts. This is facts. You're giving us
I'm officially becoming auntie now. The babies call me auntie.
And that's okay. And I think honestly that title doesn't come, it has responsibility and weight to it, because we see you as wisdom, right?
Yeah.
That's why they call you auntie. So that's a respectful title. I heard somebody else say, "Oh, I don't like being auntie." Nah, call me auntie. That's okay, because you get these gems.
It's a badge of honor, because that means I've actually survived some stuff.
Exactly. Now you said you were doing things, and you had all these different projects, right? So technically, we can say on the technical term, motherhood enhanced, right, your creativity, right? Because it, gave you an opportunity to focus
on. Let me be a child again.
Seeing. Okay, go ahead.
Let me embrace my child. A lot of things in my childhood I missed. I had one of those childhoods I had to grow up fast. I was made very independent very early in life. And my child has allowed me to relive my childhood and actually enjoy some things that were missed in mine. I love hanging out with my kid. I'm the one on water slides. I'm the one on roller coasters. I love hanging out with my kid. It's like, because it's like I get to relive my childhood, and now that he's getting older and some stuff, he's like, "Mommy, that's for babies." I'm like, "No, let's do it one more time,
please." That's the thing we also don't talk about a lot, how healing it is. Motherhood can be, right? Yes. Because I am looking forward to my daughter's birthday, because we're about to go to the trampoline park. So I totally get that. I can't wait to go jump on the
Seriously. And mind you, forget how old I am. And then while he's in there chilling on the Xbox, I'm in an Epsom salt bath asking the Lord to help me.
It's keeping us young, okay? It's keeping us alive.
Seriously. He's like, "Mommy, why you smell like that?" Ask for cream, baby. Ask for cream.
Listen, the joints don't work like they used to, okay?
Mama, why you smell like that? Icy hot, baby. Icy hot.
It's called rejuvenating cream, okay?
Because I'm
That's what we're
forgetting
gonna
how
call it.
old I am, and my butt going on some roller coaster is jerking me all around. And then next morning I'm like, oh Lord.
I think I passed out on roller coasters now. I don't think I can, like with my kids, and they little still, but those roller coasters still be going a little too fast now. And I'm like, okay, I don't think this is for me.
I think for me, I love the drops. I love the speed.
Yeah.
It's the jerking that I can't do anymore.
Yes, the whipping.
My 51-year-old back is like heifer.
Listen, yeah, it's like you forgot.
Going heifer.
Coco, you're killing me with laughter. Literally, I mean, you are a comedian. You're a comedian, but
this is me. You ask my girlfriends, this is me. They could be mad as hell at their husbands, and they'll call me, "Girl, make me laugh."
Wow, that's what you do, right? And that's what you do.
I'm just talking. I'm like, what? Say nothing. Yes, you did.
But you know what? You have to find the joy in life. I think it's so important.
You do.
That's why we got to keep. I hold on to my friends that make me laugh because you don't have to be serious all the time. That's serious stuff. I'm serious enough, and I need a little bit. I need a break.
That's the thing. But having kids, just having my child, I get to be silly again.
Yeah,
I have to be serious on these sets. I have to be serious when I'm backstage at a comedy show before I go out, making sure my money is paid and my check is right. I have to be serious when I'm in these meetings with these, who's and stuff and whatnot. I got to be serious. So to come home and be silly, to run around the house, chasing my kid with a wet rag, and say, "Come here, I'm gonna pop you, Dad, pop me," and then he's throwing. Like to play water balloons. I didn't know I would find so much joy in getting hit in the back of the head with a water balloon until I mean, it's like I get to be silly again, and that releases a lot of tension. One of the things that I never understood the statements like I became a mother, but I don't know if you remember the movie Eve's Bayou.
Oh, yeah.
And classic. Lynn Whitfield's classic. My monologue that I actually ended up getting into Bill Duke's acting class was from that movie.
Ooh.
But there was a scene where Lynn Whitfield went to the fortune teller, which was the great late Diane Carroll.
Come on, Diane. Yes.
And she, girl, regal, queen. Let me just get that. But
all the things.
And she was asking her, like, she felt like things were like wrong in her life, things were off in her life, and what should she do? And she said, "Look to your children."
Yes.
I understand that statement now. When I have felt at some of my worst moments in this life, that little boy, without him even knowing, has picked me out the pits of hell.
Ooh.
With just a smile or a mommy, or just by needing me, "Mommy, I'm hungry."
Yes.
Just he doesn't realize how many times he has snatched me out the pits of hell.
Ooh.
Just by being my child. So I get that now when she said, "Look to your children." Ooh. There's so much joy in that. That's why it does baffle me. People can walk away from fatherhood, motherhood.
Yeah.
That one I'll never understand, how you can walk away from being a mama. Like, you carried it, you can walk away. Now, adopting, that's different. If you whatever. But I'm talking about women full-fledged, grown, having babies inside. Oh, I don't want to be a mama no more. How you with it? Yeah. What? I'm glad I don't have that chromosome. But
yes,
it's something about my child, and I don't lean on him or depend on him for my happiness. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
He makes me happy just by breathing. Just by being in the
existing.
house. By being, just existing. He makes me happy. Even when I'm mad, I'm scolding him yesterday because he got in trouble at school for talking back. And the way he was looking at me, and I said, "Okay, I feel like I've scolded you enough. Don't do it again." And he hugged me and said, "I won't." And he don't know what that did for me. Because that was his way of telling me, "I get you, Mommy. Yeah, I'm upset that I got in trouble, but you handled it all right because I still love you."
Ooh.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I'm laying him out, and then when I said, "Okay, I've done enough." I said, "I've said enough." I said, "We're not going to have this problem again, are we?" "No, ma'am." I said, "Okay, you can go." And he hugged me and said, "I'm sorry, Mommy. I love you."
Just melted,
that was his way of telling me, "You handled that situation just right, Mom."
Wow.
Like, we have to look to our children sometimes. Like all the time, don't lean on them. No. They're babies.
Right.
Their shoulders ain't that strong. But look to them, and you'd be surprised the joy you can find even in the midst of your worst, darkest moments. And I know that to be true because my son has done that for me.
Ooh, I know that to be true for myself as well.
Yes, I think every mother could see that. Well, the ones that enjoy motherhood, because I think sometimes it takes. Because I think it takes. Some things need to be taught, right? And I think we all come from mothers or seeing examples of motherhood that have just like stayed with us. Because I recall my mom doing things with me and taking me to different experiences, but nobody really explained to you why you do these things or why you might sit and play with them, right? And I went to this parent conference thing the other day, and they were talking about how play is not just for them, it's also for you. Like we talked about, it's relaxing for us, right? But there is a bonding that's happening there, right? They get to see you as a person. You're getting to learn your child as a person. There's so many things that are happening in that moment. It's really like just taking a breather and just enjoying doing something together. And I think some parents don't even, like you say, you enjoy your son. Some parents can't even say that because they're not sitting to spend time. Children they want to share. They're so excited to share things with us. And sometimes when I get really overwhelmed, I have to stop, and then I look at them, and they'll like, "Are you okay?" They'll check on me. Like I say, I don't put it on them, just like you said. But they'll say, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Thank you for realizing that something's not okay." What would you? And they're like, "What would you want to do right now?" So then I switch it off. Like, how can you? Let me help you. And then they're like, "Well, let's do something together." And then even that activity just kind of brings me down and brings me right back to reality.
It brings you out that rabbit hole. And my son, like I said, he will never know how many times that his mother has been on the edge, honey.
Yes.
And just a simple, "Mommy," what? And snapped me off that edge.
Yes. It's like a call to action.
Just don't know. Like, seriously, he don't know how powerful that word is when I hear "Mommy." Yeah. I could be on the edge, and he don't know. He is, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but he has saved my life so many times. He just doesn't know.
Wow.
But they do. And they do. They really, and I'm grateful that we are having this conversation. It's so beautiful because I know one day your son's going to hear this episode and he's going to just smile with joy. And it's making me tear up right now because it's like he's going to hear all of this goodness flowing from you that he experiences every day, but he'll hear it. This is publicly, disseminated information. This is how much my mom loves me and cares about me. And we feel it. I feel it. I'm like, wow.
No, he's my heart. He's my heartbeat. I tell him every night, "You're my heartbeat. My heart doesn't work without you."
Wow. That's beautiful.
I tell him every night, "You're my heartbeat." And I don't put pressure on him. I'm not looking at him like I was on this one show and this dude's like, "You make it seem like you want your son to be your man." I said, "Bruh, let me pull you back right quick." I said, nothing in that Oedipus analogy you just tried to use. I said, when I say that I am raising the man of my dreams, I am saying that I'm one of those mothers that make sure that when I unleash that little boy onto the world, your daughter will be good.
Talk about it.
Healthy.
Some of y'all can't say that.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you what I'm doing. Now, mind you, he's going to make his own decisions, do whatever he's going to do.
Right.
But that foundation has started early. That you are a man, and there's certain things that you are required to do just to keep your manhood. Okay.
Yes.
I said, we ain't raising no sassy man over here. No, sir.
You're trying to make sure that I hear what you're saying. You're preparing him to go into the world and also not to be a burden, right? To go ahead and to come into the world.
I mean, he knows it's completely acceptable to live off a woman.
Right.
He has seen his mother do everything by herself. And even at 11, he actually said this when he was 10. He said, "Mommy, I don't even want my wife to work because I see how hard you work. I'm just going to take care of her."
Oh.
I said, "Oh, well, I'm doing something right now. Make sure you get the right heifer."
There you go. Right, exactly. Somebody will help because listen, she ain't got to work in the workforce, but she can still work at the home, So, it's a partnership.
The right woman. If she ain't working, she better have some bomb integrity, character. She can run a
There you
household.
go.
But
There you go.
we don't do
Yeah.
lazy. But I tell him that every day. You know, like one of our mantras every morning. You know, I wake him up and I said, "What are you?" He goes, "I'm a king." And I said, "What do you stand for?" And he goes, "Character, integrity, honesty, compassion, and being the best man I can be today."
Yes.
And he says that every morning. He says that every morning.
Love that.
And I said, "And what will you do one day?" He said, "One day I will love my family as I love God."
Ooh. You better
I'm conditioning him. Now what? Now mind you, what I'm seeing out here, I may have to take my baby overseas.
Oh Lord.
Because what I'm seeing right now is not very promising. That you can't bring that home. I'm sorry, honey. I know you may like her, but I know I say it as a joke, but I'm dead serious. You can't bring a woman home with the word Isha in her name. You can't bring a woman home with no passport. And if she do have a passport, it can't be all the Caribbean. That means she's been flued out.
Oh no. We do have to talk about, I think this is great that you're saying that you're being actually an active parent with your child's development, because I think, especially in entertainment, like there's a lot of high demands, long hours, traveling here, flights here, flights there. So how do you navigate, obviously, the training that you're doing with your child with also the hectic schedule that you may have sometimes? What does it look like, even when you're on the road or, you have to have a flight? What does it look like your relationship with him as a mom?
I mean, I feel we have a beautiful, unbreakable bond. I do. People who've been around us, from neighbors to teachers to coaches to my friends and family, they're like, "Oh my God, you guys, like you have such a bond with your child." We talk.
That's
now mind you, he's getting to that age where he's not sure if he can talk about that with mommy. But I just reassure him that you can still talk to mommy about anything. But at one point he was, well, honey, I don't want to talk about that right now. But now he's more picking and choosing. But to be honest with you, and this is going to sound crazy, I do not have a life outside of my career and money and motherhood. Because when I'm on the road, I'm Coca Brown. When I come home, I'm mama. So anything in between has either got to be involved with my career or my child.
Okay.
I always say, I will find a nice bingo hall and meet me a nice man when he go to college.
Listen, I am not mad at that. Because you're not coming to mess up stuff.
Nice Mr. Walter or Mr. Otis, and I will enjoy it. Because it's many reasons. It's like, one, I don't want to take anything from him while I'm entertaining some dude.
Right.
Okay. And then when I've attempted to entertain a dude, he's made me realize I was better off staying at home being mama.
Oh. Okay.
So I have just decided not to date right now. And at this point, it will take Jesus, Isaac, Gabriel, Bendigo, Moses, and a couple of archangels to walk a man to me and say, "This is our homeboy. He'd like to meet you." Because I can't. My last date took me out the game. I said, I refuse. I cannot. I'm too educated.
Yeah. It's prioritizing again. Once again, you're saying you have to, you're putting what's important, because it's time. It's time that they're taking from you that you could be better putting somewhere else. So I get what you're saying.
And the time is wasted. These poor men don't make it to a third date. Because I just feel like, ooh. And to be honest with you, I date with my son in mind. Like, if I'm dating you and I could not fathom my child picking up any of your traits, I could not fathom my child being like you, what are we doing? Nothing.
Right. That's the level of intentionality.
Yeah, like, if I want a man that if my son turned out like him, I'd be happy.
Yeah. Okay.
And unfortunately, the pickings are slim. All those men are married to my friends, but I use them as uncles. So that's a beautiful thing.
Perfect.
I call you uncle.
Perfect. There you go. There you go. That's what I do. Listen, my kids call her Auntie Kelly.
I love my friends because they have all let me borrow their husbands, and not in that way, but in the way that when I've been in a situation with my son that I know being a man would probably resonate with him more.
Better.
I have all of their numbers, and I'm able to call any of them at the drop of a dime and say, "Can you talk to my child?" And I love that. But that just shows you the trust that we have in our friendships, that they lend me their husbands for my child. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a
village.
It's a village. It's a village.
Listen, we love to hear about the village. And I love an extended friend village too, because you know you're not family, and you chose me, and you chose to stick around.
Seriously. I'm grateful for those Black men in my life that they have filled a void that his father left. Now, of course, that void will be there because that's his father, but it's not as big a void.
Yeah, shout out to Black men. Black men stepping up and filling in the gap.
I love
that.
Thank you. Now, just find one that's single.
Yes, okay.
He might listen. He might be overseas.
Because what?
He might be overseas.
I wouldn't introduce to my worst enemy.
My God.
Listen, if I find a good one, I'll send him your way. Don't worry. I'll tell him slide in them DMs, okay?
I was a good woman. I can cook and clean.
We know. Listen.
Girl, and, you know, I'm freaky
you
on
good
Fridays.
just by being you, okay?
She said she's freaky on Fridays, okay?
Listen, they love it all. That means she got a good balance, okay? We love that.
Seriously, I'm a Libra girl. My scales be balanced, baby. But
she said she got it going on.
My mama's a Libra too. I'll get along with Libras. That's okay.
Exactly. It's just hard to date, you know, because I date for me, but I'm dating for me might be about 20% and 80% is dating for my child.
Yeah.
Like, could I see you helping me raise my son?
Yeah.
Would I be happy if my son turned out like you?
And that's fair.
And
that's a valid question.
I just haven't met anybody that would, you know, is worthy of that spot.
Yeah. I mean, talk about it, because some folks are not asking those questions. You know, you're sharing your honest experiences, and you're right. Like the people who are in the lives of our children, they do shape them, whether it's the friends, whether it's the aunties or the uncles or the whoever's, like they do. And I think even when you're picking, and then now things happen, but even when you're choosing to procreate with someone, like, that's a consideration.
Yeah. And it's like, and you'd be surprised, a lot of men have gotten very comfortable with women putting their children aside for them. And I say that because I have literally met men and been on dates with men who would be like, "Oh, I raised my kids. I ain't raising no more kids. Honey, I got a 10-year-old. Well, yeah, I didn't raise mine. So what are we still doing here?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this goes no further.
Yeah.
You're telling me you raised yours, you ain't raising no more kids. I have a 10-year-old. What am I supposed to do? Send him to the army?
Oh, God.
But these men have gotten so comfortable with meeting women who will put their children on the back burner for them. I ain't her.
Well, I'm glad he said it early in the game before you got in too deep. I'm saying, I'm glad it came out early.
No, I appreciate that. But it's crazy how the men have gotten, you know, they find it shocking when a woman puts her child first.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy. Because I tell anybody, honey, I said, until you show me different, I said, Phoenix Brown is man of this house. Yeah, I'm thoroughly convinced. My husband, I think my husband wears a uniform like UPS or Amazon because I don't never go out nowhere. So
he gonna be, listen, that's all right.
My husband wears a uniform.
He'll be dropping off the package.
Right. I do be looking out the window though, like, how you look? I'm like, how you look? You got a job, you know.
Hey, at least he consistent, okay?
Yeah, right, exactly. He comes when I call him. Yes, he does.
So another question that we want to just ask you with your, you know, creative work and all the amazing things that you do is any tips that you've already shared so much information, but anything that you can share that can help moms who are, you know, starting out on their creative journey and they're trying to decide, they're trying to prioritize, but they want to share their creative talents. Any tips that you can help share that will help them on their journey, whether they're starting or they're pivoting?
Honestly, find your favorite social media platform and work it like a three-legged dog.
Ooh.
I mean, seriously, right now, you don't have to wait for anybody to pick you or choose you. You can start everything you need and gain your following, and they will come to you. You could be sitting right in your living room while your baby's asleep, taking a nap, making money. Pick out your favorite platform, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever. And you work it like a tutor. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
And monetize it. Monetize it. Don't do it just for the heck of it. Monetize it. When I say monetize, just go in that little thing that says settings and say monetize.
Got it. I'm about to put
Here we go. Here we go.
I take notes of everybody when we come on here, because that makes sense, you know, and they keep saying that, you know,
you don't have to say I don't have time no more.
Yes.
You know how many mamas out here are getting paid because they just got the camera rolling while they're dealing with their kids? Somebody gonna watch it and you get paid every time they watch it.
That right.
And if it's good, I mean, look at Tabitha Brown, for God's sake. If that ain't a story,
listen.
If that ain't a story, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Listen.
She was sitting home cooking vegan food for her family and recording it, and look at her now.
Yes. Oof. Look
I'm
at her
just
now.
saying. So you ain't got to wait on nobody. You ain't got to wait for the right time or the right amount of money, because it's free to get on Instagram, boo.
Yes, ma'am. It's
free
and TikTok and all the things.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying. Right. There's no better time than right now, as long as you got a phone and some good light.
Yes.
And a microphone.
Seriously. And that's that. And that's on that. Yeah.
Yep. There's your stage.
I mean, step out there and do the things. Well, I'm gonna let Danni take over, because we try to wrap up our podcast with a little bit of fun things. We want a little fun, stuff.
Okay.
So, can you tell us your favorite TV or movie mom?
Claire Huxtable.
Tell us why.
I wanted to be Claire Huxtable. I just thought she was just the epitome of grace and class, but yet she had that black mama ness that she didn't play about them kids. She was a businesswoman. She was a boss, but then she was a wife. Then she was a mom. She was like the trifecta to me. Like so much so that in my high school yearbook, under my picture, it says, "Where will you be in 5 years?" And I said, "I'll be Claire Huxtable."
Yes. I love that.
First time I met her, I peed a little. I did. I peed a little first time I met her. Like, you don't understand. Like, you my hero. I'm a hero. I peed a little bit. I was like,
and was she as graceful in person?
But
was she as graceful in person? Like,
oh my God.
She seems like the same character. Like, she is Claire.
Like, I was in a room, when I tell you, it was like being in a room with like angels blowing sweet kisses on you. I was in a room with her, the great Cicely Tyson.
Oh my.
Okay. And the great Diane Carroll at the same time.
What? To be a fly
when
on that wall.
All I could do was sit there and just try to take in all of that. Just take it. I couldn't say nothing. All I could do was, I'm taking this in. I'm taking all of this in right now. So yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's just as graceful. She's just as graceful and poised and classy. And I wish we bring back class, honey. Let's go back to classy. Tired of trashy.
Yes.
Especially on TV.
Please.
Especially on TV.
Girl.
Especially on TV.
All right.
Now tell us your favorite thing. Or you can tell us your favorite thing and your least favorite thing, or just your favorite thing about being a mom. You can do both, or you can just do one. You can choose.
The favorite thing about being a mom, I would say that I get to relive my childhood through his eyes. I get to be a kid again through his eyes. Yeah, that's one of the most fun, all the things that I didn't get a chance to do as a child, I get to do with him. And I'm not living through him because I have a very fulfilling life, but I get to be a kid again. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, and shaping and being able to mold this. When I say I'm raising a man of my dreams, I'm so real right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to make him one hell of a husband, or for someone one day.
Yeah.
Not for me, it's sick. No, for somebody when they get my baby, they're gonna be like, they got the prize.
Yeah.
Job.
They got the prize. Yeah. Now the worst thing about being a mom, gosh, honestly, well,
just the least favorite, because the
least favorite, being a single mom with a deadbeat baby daddy.
Yeah, okay.
I wish I had a mature, responsible co-parent.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing. I wish I had a responsible, mature co-parent.
Okay, and that's fair. Listen, it make a whole lot of difference. I always say I'm in awe of single parents because when I get home, like when my husband get home from work, whatever, it come home early or he come home late, I'm so glad to say, man, I did my part. Your turn, tag team. I'm just so ready. And then the fact that you don't really have that, that can seem so consuming and just so, but I can definitely see that.
When you have to be the heavy and the mommy, you know what I mean? And I wish there were times that I've had to deal, be the disciplinarian, that I wish I could have just said, wait till your daddy get home.
Right. Yes.
But but that's probably the only thing that I dislike, but everything else I love.
And that's fair. I ain't got no problem with that. Okay. And now tell us a funny or a sweet story about your child and involving your work.
Oh my God.
Don't embarrass him too bad.
Oh God. Work. Well, I know the first time my child realized his mommy was a little famous.
Oh, okay. I like this one. Yes.
He came home from school. I think he might have been in the second grade. He was young, maybe about seven. He was like 6 or 7. And he came home from school and he said, Mommy. I said, yeah, baby. He goes, he's in the back of the car, little feet still dangling. He's still in a booster seat. I remember that. Mommy, I said, what, baby? He goes, are you famous? And I said, huh? I said, am I famous? He goes, yeah, Mommy, are you famous? And I said, well, what do you consider famous? Like, you be in TV and movies and stuff? And I said, well, sometimes. Oh, Mommy, I'm going to have to tell my friend I'm sorry. I said, why? Because I told him that he was telling a story because he said, your mama famous. And I said, my mama just mommy.
But don't you love that?
That is so...
It didn't like you have a famous mommy. No, that's just mommy, So
and that's okay.
I always remember that story because he could care less. He could care less. I'm famous.
And they still don't. Does he care now?
Being famous.
Right, there you go. That part.
He likes the perks.
He likes the perks.
Yeah, the perks.
He likes the perks that we can go to Universal and get skipped the line because mommy's famous.
Yeah. And I saw on your page you met with the actress from Matilda. And he got to play When I saw that, I was like, can you be my mommy? Because can I be?
I mean, it's so funny. She and I have been friends for a few years now. And then I started to notice that whenever me and him flew, he would always put on Matilda. Oh. So I'm thinking, so I said, baby, is this like your favorite movie? He goes, yes, I love this movie. I love this movie. I love Matilda. I love Lavender. I said, really? And I was like, okay. So that's when Mommy decided to make a plug, called my girl, Camila. I was like, awesome. Hey, my son in love with you. She was like, what? She said, where y'all gonna be? I said, we're gonna be at David Buster's. He goes, I'm on my way. And when she walked in, he kind of was like looking, at her. Right. He was looking at her and I'm sorry, did I lose y'all? I'm sorry.
No, we want to hear this.
He was looking at her, and I said, "Do you know who that is, baby?" And he was like, "I think." And I said, "You don't know?" And she put them glasses on, and he was like, "Stop, you Lavender."
That is hilarious. Oh yeah, he's loving the perks.
And so, and it was so funny because he was trying to be so cool, like he wasn't.
Of course, I saw the picture. I said he looked he looked like he was being awkward.
I got out of the equation. I just went out of the equation and let them hang out, And I said, look, baby, you got $100 on your card, so y'all go kick it. And he's like, I got it. And she would just say, he said, no, I got it. I said, girl, you got a whole day. She said, he got a whole day. And he's trying to act all cool, like. You know?
Yeah. But you had him.
But he was so
dead.
gassed. He was so gassed. He could not believe he was hanging out with Lavender from Matilda.
That is
Wow.
awesome. And what a lovely perk, right? Oh my gosh.
The lovely to say he likes the perks of mommy being famous, but he could care
That's
less
okay.
about me.
But he loves you for being you, and I love that.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Oh,
He
that's
does.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. Well, that's all we have in our fun stuff. That's all the stuff, all the
Thank
fun
you,
questions I
guys.
have for you.
No problem. So one last thing. Do you have an affirmation, a couple of words that you could just say to encourage a mom out there? Just one line.
Gosh. One line, let's see. At the end of the day, if your children are still breathing, you did a good job.
Amen. Oh gosh.
That's the truth.
If you didn't lose one, you good. If one didn't turn up missing, you got it.
Oh goodness. Listen, some days I'd be like, I gotta make dinner, this and that. My husband say, just get them cereal. They gonna be all right. They'll survive.
Yeah,
and they do. They survive. We don't gotta make the 5-course meal.
I woke up this morning to my child eating ramen noodles for breakfast.
And he okay. And he's still walking around.
And he had a great day.
There you go.
He made it through. Still breathing.
Exactly. So if you go to bed every night and you know them babies still breathing, you did a good job, Mom.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes.
That's it.
I love it. Oh my gosh. This is great.
Listen,
thank you so much.
My abs hurt. Okay. My abs are hurting. Okay. You are hilarious. Can you let people know? You're welcome. Let people know what you got coming up next. We know that you've got a lot. They can see you anywhere.
You have a show in Lauderhill. I already know. I'm going to buy my ticket. I have to talk to my husband, make it a date night. But we have a show in
That's going to be a great show.
Myself, and I'm going to be in the audience like,
yeah. Yes. And make sure, look, you come backstage and see me now. Make sure you hit me up. So
listen, you know I'm going to be there cheesing very hard, okay? I'll be there.
Yes.
And the Instagram is Coca Brown, One Funny Mama, okay?
Right, and you ain't got to spell that all out, but we'll just put in Coca, COCOA, Brown, letter O. You'll see me pop right up with that blue check.
Exactly. And they can run to Google, and Google will send you right there as well.
Just spell my name right.
That's right.
Google her. Anything else? So you have shows. You got a website.
Yeah, you can go to my website. I have a lot of shows coming up. I'm actually in Greensboro this weekend at the Comedy Zone. So, go to my website. I'm somewhere every weekend through May. So I'm probably going to be at a city near you.
Busy.
Just go to my website, Coca Brown. That's COCOA Brown, the number 4 life.com.
Got it.
For life.
Yeah.
She about that life, y'all.
All about that life.
About that life. But thank you so much for joining us. You truly are a gem. You are an auntie. Honorary auntie.
Yes, and you bring so much light. Thank you for the light and the love and the energy that you gave us here. So I'll catch you in March. I'll be there, okay? If I'm alone, I'm gonna come.
Please do.
I'm trying to bring a little crew.
You better speak to me because I'll be out there selling my sweatshirts and hoodies and everything.
Listen, and I'm gonna get a sweatshirt. I'm going to all the things, okay? All right, I'll show out. Don't you worry. I might make you a sign and everything.
Okay. I can hear Marvin there, girl. You got some crazy ass fans out there with a sign.
and do, okay?
But thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me and dealing with my crazy schedule, man. Thank you guys so much.
No problem.
All
We look forward to chatting again soon. One day.
Absolutely. This has been an absolute pleasure and honor to be on here. So anytime y'all want me to come on, holla.
All right, for sure. Definitely. Thank you.
Almost showed my real hair.
Listen now, hold up now.
They're like, who cut her hair? No, this is the real hair. Okay.
But honestly, truly, we'll cut the podcast here, but truly, just really, really honestly thankful that you joined us. Like you sharing your story, you talking about your experiences and just being honest and being hilarious at the same time. Like, it's really heartwarming because you never know something that you said that stood out to me, and Danielle talks about this all the time with me, but it's like resting, and I've really been trying to be in a resting season. It is very hard for me.
That's why you got a cold right now. Okay,
that's why I have a cold right now. So that's
Yep.
the devil like
You gotta take some time for yourself. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I take 3 30-minute leave me the hell alones a day.
Ooh,
and you do not understand how those 90 minutes, those 30 minutes help me reset.
Ooh.
And sometimes it's just me sitting in the car and I'll be like, I ain't get out the car yet.
I like that. I'm putting
Seriously,
that
I take 30
that.
and I just space them out. You can take that throughout the day. You really can.
I like that.
If you can do a whole hour and a half in one shot, knock yourself out. But I just take 30-minute breaks.
And that helps a lot.
I'll
you know, we do it on our job.
Of Martin, laugh my butt out and go back to work.
There you go. Because we do it on our job all the time. We take breaks on our jobs, but why can't we do that with our life? And I think that's so important, especially as you know, you guys have this. Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Yep. Start there, sis. Start there. Just start with one. You can start with 30 minutes. Yes. And then get to 30 minutes. Then get to 30 minutes.
Yes.
I can do this.
Start one. And I'm talking about zone out, even if you got to go in a closet and look in the dark. I mean, just find you a spot. Like I said, mine just be random. It could be in the car. It could be me. I'll go in Walmart, get a car that ain't got nothing to buy and just walk.
Yeah. No.
Like, ooh, this is a nice candle. You know, I mean, I tap out of anything that's part of my normal life, if that makes sense.
I love that.
Disrupting the norm. I color. Yeah. I have coloring books. I'll color.
See?
Okay.
I'll tap out. So find a way to tap out 30 minutes every day and then make it 60 minutes. But just you take a break at work, right?
Sure do. I do.
Yeah. And do something that has nothing to do with mommying, nothing to do with your job.
Yes.
Just tap out. Tap out. Try 30 minutes a day. Okay. Try it.
All right. I believe it myself. I could do that.
Great.
I'm gonna help her.
Take 30 minutes. Make you some muffins or something you would normally never do.
Yes.
I could do that. Yeah. I could really do
30 minutes. Start with 30.
And it's gonna be
good. Then you'll learn how to do it whenever you need to. You'll know when you need to do it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know there are moments I need to do it and I know it. And I literally will go outside and throw the ball with my dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I like
I go
that.
Throw the ball with my dogs.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, because you don't want to keep going. Because I can honestly attest to you, I crashed and burned really bad a few years ago. Like nobody knew I was hospitalized because I was dehydrated and just worn out. So that was my wake up call that I could possibly try. I'm gonna be working so hard I could leave this boy. Oh no. Honey, I will tap out in a heartbeat. I don't care if I got 1,001 things in front of me. I need a minute. And my child even knows that now. My child even knows that now. When I go, I say, baby, mama needs a moment. He knows I'm going in that bedroom and close that door.
Yes.
Now, unless the house on fire or he dying or something, he don't bother me. He know mama need a minute.
Yes.
He knows that's when he can go into this Xbox and I won't bother him. So it's a win. It's a win-win for everybody.
You're modeling
it's my break.
Wow. That's right. It's a win-win for everybody. He knows you doing that Xbox 30 minutes, he could be on the Xbox. They ain't gonna bother him. So he's like, it's a win-win. Go take a break, mama. Bye. You want some tea? Bye. You know, like, go.
Yeah.
You know, seriously.
Yeah. I do need to take more intentional breaks.
Please.
And not when I'm at the edge of my frustration.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Yeah. You don't want it to be an edge because you can't turn your brain off then.
No.
That's true.
Exactly.
No, you got to be like, you know what? I need a moment. Just call it a moment. Don't call it a break if that gives you a stigma.
It does.
I say a moment. Breaks make me feel lazy, but I say I need a moment. I need a moment.
Yeah. I love that. Oh,
yeah.
All right. Thank you for
find your moment, girl. Find your moment.
We're gonna make sure she get there.
Please find her moment.
We're working on it. I just be trying to get out all the ideas that are in my mind. That's the struggle for me. It's
write it down
and leave it
and
there.
Then set it aside. Mm-hmm. That's what I was told. That's what I was told. At night before I go to bed, every freaking thought I could possibly muster into my head, write it down. And then when I close that journal, I roll over because that's tomorrow.
There you go. I love that.
Ooh.
You got to, girl, because my brain won't cut off either.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
And if you don't want to write it down, say it in your phone. Get quick voice.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I do a voice note in a heartbeat. Oh, yes.
Girl, I got so many ramble notes on quick voice.
I do that. I'll be like, okay, I can't get, because if I turn the light, if I get my notebook, I have to turn on the light. If I turn off the light, that's going to activate my brain.
Record. Okay.
Yeah.
This is on my mind. Why do ducks have orange bills? Okay, good.
Listen.
That's the random crap that pops into my head while I'm trying to sleep. So, seriously. And then the next day you go to like, what did I say? Oh, Lord, I really want to answer
that. Was crazy. I was exhausted.
Okay. Maybe them drugs coming back to haunt me. I did it in the 90s.
Oh, no. Sneak back on you.
I need to run, y'all. My baby just got home from tennis practice, so I got to run home now and go make dinner, and then I'll run my errands. But thank you guys so very much. It was such an honor and a pleasure to be up here with so many beautiful moms. I felt seen. Thank you. So you guys have a great night, okay? And I'll see you in Florida, sis. All right.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, bye. Thank you for listening in. Catch us weekly on Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. And feel free to leave a review.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get more information and inspiration on motherhood and making things.
And if you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend.
Have a question or comment? Send us an email at theProCreativespodcast@gmail.com.